Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, Proftrof, and we're here with another internet historian video. This is my Immortal first pilot out of 3 Sundance rejects. I don't know what this is about, so let's check it out. I think it's about Harry Potter because I saw the thumbnail, but
In 2006, the world's greatest piece of fan fiction was written.
okay. Since this is gonna be about fanfiction, I gotta. What's the word? Fuck, I forgot. I gotta share something that I'm not very proud of. I've read fanfiction. A decent amount of fanfiction. Yes. Not gonna comment anymore on that. Let's get to it.
Consider this the feature-length adaptation. Part 1 of 2, Part 2 coming soon.
The what?
Featuring Sorrow TV. So turn off the lights. Get comfy. It's story time.
What's happening?
My Immortal. Hi, my name is Ebony Darkness Dementia Ravenway. And I have long ebony black hair. That's how I got my name. I'm a vampire, but my teeth are straight and white.
Since this is about fanfiction, for anyone that doesn't know what fanfiction is basically like you take someone's work, you shit all over it, and you post it online. And after enough people do that, you can discover one or two very good pieces of literature. Yes.
I'm also a witch.
It is
and
what it
I
is,
go to
come
a
on,
magic
let's be
school
honest.
called
That
Hogwarts,
is what
England,
it is.
Where I'm in the 7th year. I'm a goth, and I wear mostly black. I love Hot Topic, and I buy all my clothes from there. A lot of preps stare at me. I put up my middle finger at them.
Hey, Ebony! I shouted.
I looked up. It was Draco Malfoy. What's up, Draco? I asked.
Nothing.
What's up,
I
Draco?
said shyly.
But then, I heard my friends call me, and I had to go away. Chapter 2, Author's Note. Thanks to Bloody Tears 666 again for helping me with the chapter. By the way, prep stopped flaming my story, okay? The next day I woke up in my bedroom. I opened the door of my coffin and drank some blood from a bottle I had. I got out of my coffin and took off my giant My Chemical Romance t-shirt, which I use for pajamas. Instead, I put on a black leather dress, a pentagram necklace, combat boots, and black fishnets. I put on 4 pairs of earrings in my pierced ears and put my hair in a kind of messy bun. My friend Willow, author's note, Raven, this is you, woke up and then grinned at me.
What the hell?
She put on her Marilyn Manson t-shirt with a black mini, fishnets, and pointy high-heeled boots. We put on our makeup, black lipstick, white foundation, and black eyeliner.
OMFG, I saw you talking to Draco Malfoy yesterday, I said excitedly.
Yeah, so, I said bluntly.
Do you like Draco? I asked as we went out of the Slytherin
This is
common room
causing
and into the
physical
Great
pain
Hall.
to your boy.
No, I so f***ing don't, I shouted.
Yeah, right, I exclaimed.
Just then, Draco walked up to me.
Oh
Hi, I said.
Hi, I replied flirtily.
Guess what? I said.
What? I asked.
Well, Good Charlotte are having a concert in Hogsmeade, I told her.
Oh my f***ing god, I screamed. I love Good Charlotte. They are my favorite band besides My Chemical Romance.
Well, do you want to go with me? I asked.
I gasped. Chapter 3, Author's Note. Stop flaming the story, preps, okay? Otherwise, Fangs to the Gothics people for the good reviews. Fangs again Raven. On the night of the concert, I put on my black lace-up boots and high heels. Underneath, there were ripped red fishnets. Then I put on this black mini dress with all of this corset stuff. I put on matching fishnets on my arms. I straightened my hair and made it look all spiky. I felt a little depressed then, so I slit open one of my wrists.
Oh my god!
As you do.
I felt how depressed this.
I read a depressing book while I waited for it to stop bleeding, and I listened to some Good Charlotte. I painted my nails black and put on tons of black eyeliner. Then I put on some black lipstick. I didn't put on foundation because I was pale anyway. I drank some human blood, so I was ready to go to the concert. I went outside. Draco was waiting there in front of his flying car. He was wearing a Simple Plan t-shirt. They would play at the show too. Baggy black skater pants, black nail polish, and a little eyeliner. Author's note. A lot for cool boys were it okay.
Why did you suggest this? You know who he is.
What? Hi, Draco, I said in a depressed
Please tell me it's not gonna be 38 minutes of this. I don't think my poor little heart can take this.
voice.
Hi, Ebony, I said back. We walked into my flying black Mercedes-Benz. The license plate said 666. And flew to the place with the concert. On the way, we listened excitedly to Good Charlotte and Marilyn Manson. We both smoked cigarettes and drugs.
Naturally.
When we got there, we both hopped out of the car. We went to the mosh pit at the front of the stage and jumped up and down as we listened to Good Charlotte.
Joel is so fucking hot, I said to Draco, pointing to him as he sang, filling the club with his amazing voice. Suddenly, Draco looked sad. What's wrong? I asked as we moshed to the music. Then I caught on. Hey, it's okay. I don't like him better than you, I said.
Really? I asked sensitively as I put my arm around her, all protective.
Really? I said. Besides, I don't even know Joel, and he's going out with Hillary f***ing Duff. I f***ing hate that little bitch, I said disgustedly, thinking of her ugly blonde face.
The night went on really well, and I had a great time. So did Draco. After the concert, we drank some beer and asked Benji and Joel for their autographs and photos with them.
Oh my
We
god!
got Good Charlotte concert tees.
Oh really?
Draco and I crawled back into the Mercedes-Benz, but Draco didn't go back into Hogwarts.
Into the flying Mercedes-Benz. Let's remember that. Because in Hogwarts they have flying cars, not just brooms.
Instead, he drove the car into the Forbidden Forest.
Chapter 4. I said stop flaming, okay? Ebony's name is Inobi, not Mary Sue, okay? Draco is so in love with her that he is acting different. They knew each other before, okay? Draco, I shouted. What the f***?
Okay, so when a normal person looks for fanfiction, okay, I'm gonna try to explain my past obsession with fanfiction. When a normal person looks for fanfiction, it's because they love the story and the setting so much that they want to see more of it, right? But it's finished, so you cannot see more of it because it's finished. So they go and look for fanfiction. The problem with most fanfiction is that they take the story and the characters that you love, and they twist them, destroy them, bash their fucking faces in front of your poor little eyes, while you sit there and you cry, but you keep reading because you kind of hope that it gets better, but it doesn't. So you keep crying, and
Think you're doing?
Draco didn't answer, but he stopped the flying car and he walked out of it. I walked out of it too, curiously.
What the fucking hell? I asked angrily.
Ebony? He asked.
What? I snapped.
Draco leaned in extra close, and I looked into his gothic red eyes.
wait,
He was wearing color contacts, which revealed so much depressing sorrow and evilness.
since when does the Sharingan...
And then suddenly, I didn't feel mad anymore. And then, suddenly, just as Draco kissed me passionately. Draco climbed on top of me, and we started to make out keenly against a tree.
bet
He
you.
took off my top, and I took off his clothes. I even
Wait,
took off
wasn't there centaurs and shit in the Forbidden Forest? Yo, centaur, stop this disgusting abomination of happening. Stop it.
my bra.
Come on, centaurs. Do
Then
your shit.
he put his thingy into my you-know-what, and
Ah.
we did it for the first time. Dear God.
Oh, I screamed. I was beginning to get an orgasm. I started to kiss everywhere and my pale body became all warm. And then...
What the hell you doing, motherfuckers?
it was Dumbledore.
Don't...
Chapter 5. Author's note. Stop flaming. If you flame, it means you are prep or opposer. The only reason Dumbledore swore is because he had a headache, okay? And on top of that,
This
he was
cannot be
mad
real.
at them for having
They're
socks.
making fun of us.
P.S. I'm
There's
not
no way this is
updating
real.
until
Actually,
I get
I've read
5
worse,
good
so maybe it is real.
reviews. Dumbledore made, and Draco and I followed him. He kept shouting us angrily.
You ludicrous fools! I shouted.
I started to cry, tears of blood down my pallid face. Draco comforted me. When we went back to the castle, Dumbledore took us to Professor Snape and Professor McGonagall.
Okay, for all my Harry Potter fans out there, what are your thoughts about Dumbledore? I think Dumbledore's a little bitch, okay? He should have done things a lot differently than what he did, okay? Fuck Dumbledore.
Who were both looking very angry.
They were having sexual intercourse in the Forbidden Forest! He yelled in a furious voice.
Why did you do such a thing, you mediocre dunces? Asked Professor McGonagall.
How dare you? Demanded Professor Snape.
And then Draco shrieked,
Because I love her!
Everyone was quiet. Dumbledore and Professor McGonagall still looked mad, but Professor Snape said,
Fine. Very well. You may go up to your room.
Why does he have an Make America Great
Draco
Again
and I
shit?
went upstairs while the teachers glared at us.
Are you okay, Ebony? Draco asked gingerly.
Yeah, I guess. I lied. I went to the girls' dorm and brushed my teeth and my hair and changed into a low-cut black floor-length dress with red lace all around it that had black high heels. When I came out, Draco was standing in front of the bathroom. He had started to sing I Just Want to Live by Good Charlotte. I was so flattered, even though he wasn't supposed to be there. We hugged and kissed. After that, we said goodnight, and he reluctantly went back to his room. Chapter 6. Shut up, preps, okay? P.S. I won't update until you give me good reviews. The
Please
next day I
don't.
woke up in my coffin. I put on a black miniskirt that was ripped all around the edges, and a matching top with red skulls all over it, and high-heeled boots that were black. I put on 2 pairs of skull earrings, and 2 crosses in my ears. I spray-painted my hair with purple.
Yo, I'm not surprised she cut her wrists on the second chapter. Oh, this edge can probably cut my wrists as well.
In the
God
Great
damn.
Hall, I ate some Count Chocula cereal with blood instead of milk. And a glass of red blood. Suddenly, someone bumped into me. All the blood spilled all over my top. Bastard! I shouted angrily. I regretted saying it when I looked up. I was looking into the pale white face of a gothic boy with spiky black hair and red streaks in it. He was wearing so much eyeliner that it was going down his face, and he was wearing black lipstick. He didn't have glasses anymore, and now he was wearing red contact lenses just like Draco's, and there was no scar on his forehead anymore. He had a manly stubble on his chin. He had a sexy English accent. He looked exactly like Joel Madden. He was so sexy that my body went all hot when I saw him, kind of like an erection, only I'm a girl, so I didn't get one, you sicko.
I'm so sorry, I said in a shy voice.
That's all right.
I
What's your
am
name?
getting
I
physical
questioned.
pain
My
from
name
this.
is Harry Potter, although most people call me Vampire these days, I grumbled.
Why? I exclaimed.
Because I love the taste of human blood, I giggled.
Well, I am a vampire, I confessed.
Really? I whimpered.
Yeah, I roared. We sat down for a while, then Draco came up behind me and told me he had a surprise for me, so I went away with him. Chapter 7. Bring Me to Life. Author's note. Well, okay guys, I'm only writing this because I got 5 God reviews. And by the way, I won't write next chapter till I get 10 good Vons. Stop flaming or I'll report you. Evany isn't a Mary Sue, okay? She isn't perfect. She's a Satanist. She has problems and she's depressed for God's sake.
She
Draco
is a
and I
problem.
held our pale white hands with black nail polish and went upstairs. I was wearing red Satanist sings on my nails in red nail polish. Author's note. See, does that sound like a Meru Sue to you? I waved to Vampire. I guess he was jealous of me, that I was going out with Draco. Anyway, I went upstairs excitedly with Draco. We went to his room, and I locked the door. Then We started Frenching passively. Then we took off each other's clothes enthusiastically. He felt me up before I took off my top. Then I took off my black leather bra, and he took off his pants. We went on the bed and started making out naked. Then he put his boy's thingy in mine, and we had sex. See, is that stupid?
Yes.
Oh, Draco. I
Yes.
yelled while getting an orgasm.
I hope this isn't the last year of Hogwarts, because if not, this would be extremely fucked up. I don't remember the ages from the show, but I don't know from the books as well, but I'm pretty sure they were pretty young for most of the start, right? Like 13, 12 or some shit.
All of a sudden I saw a tattoo, and I had never seen before on Draco's arm. It was a black heart with an arrow through it. On it, in bloody goth writing, with a word,
Fuck
vampire. I was so angry.
Oh my god.
You bastard, I shouted angrily, jumping out of bed.
No! But you don't understand! Draco pleaded. But she knew too much.
No, you f***ing idiot, I shouted. You probably have AIDS anyway. I put on my clothes all huffily and then stomped out. Draco ran out even though he was naked. He had a really big you-know-what, but I was too mad to care. I stomped out and did so until I was in the vampire's classroom, where he was having a lesson with Professor Snape and some other people. Vampire Potter, you Chapter 8. Author's note. Stop flassing, okay? If you do, then you are a prep. Everyone in the class stared at me, and then Draco came into the room, even though he was naked, and started begging me to take him back.
Ebony, it's not what you think!
Oh, bro.
He screamed sadly.
My friend Bloody Mary Smith smiled at me understandingly. She flipped her long waist-length gothic black hair and opened her crimson eyes like blood that she was wearing contact lenses on. She had pale white skin that she was wearing white makeup on. Hermione was kidnapped when she was born. Her real parents are vampires, and one of them is a witch, but Voldemort killed her mother, and her father committed suicide because he was depressed about it. She still has nightmares. Her real parents are vampires, and one of them is a witch, but Voldemort killed her mother, and her father committed suicide because he was depressed about it. She still has nightmares about it, and she is very haunted and depressed. It also turns out her real last name is Smith and not Granger. Since she had converted to Satanism, she is in Slytherin now, not Gryffindor.
What is it that you desire, you ridiculous dimwit? Snape demeaned angrily in his cold voice, but I ignored him.
Vampire, I can't believe you cheated on me with Draco, I shouted at
Wait.
him.
I don't know why Ebony was so mad at me. I had went out with Vampire. I'm bi, and so is Ebony, for a while, but then he broke my heart. He dumped me because he liked Brittany, a stupid preppy f***er. We're just good friends now. He'd gone through horrible problems, and now he was gothic. Haha, like I would hang out with a prep. But I'm not going out with Draco anymore, said Vampire.
Pretty good accent.
Yeah, f***ing right. Off, you bastard, I screamed. I ran out of the room into the forbidden forest, where I had lost my...
Why is everyone
Really?
going? What? What? I was gonna comment why they were all going into the forbidden forest, and then I was hit with the line, "Where I lost my virginity. Didn't you like human blood? Just drink it."
Draco, and then I started to bust into tears. Chapter 9. Author's note.
Can we
Stop
get a good ending where one of those horse people just decapitates her?
flaming, okay? I didn't read all the books. This is
I
from the
didn't
movie,
read all the
okay? So
books.
it's not my fault if Dumbledore swears. Beswedes, I said he had a headache, and the reason Snap doesn't like Harry now is because he Christian and Vampire is a Satanist. My Chemical Romance rocks. I was so mad and sad, I couldn't believe Draco for cheating on me. I began to cry against the tree where I did it with Draco. Then, all of a suddenly, An horrible man with red eyes and no nose and everything started flying towards me on a broomstick. He didn't have a nose, basically like Voldemort in the movie, and he was wearing all black, but it was obvious he wasn't gothic. It was Voldemort. No, I shouted in a scared voice, but then Voldemort shouted, Imperial! And I couldn't run away. Crookshanks, I shouted at him. Voldemort fell off his broom and started to scream. I felt bad for him, even though I'm a sadist, so I stopped.
She beat Voldemort.
Ebony! I yelled. Thou must kill Vampire Potter!
I thought about Vampire, and his 6-hour eyes, and his gothic black hair, and how his face looks just like Joel Madden. I remember that Draco had said I didn't understand, so I thought, what if Draco went out with Vampire before I went out with him and they broke up? No, Voldemort, I shouted back. Voldemort gave me a gun. No, please, I begged.
Thou must, I yelled. If thou
Voldemort gave me a gun. By the way, this is very interesting. Why don't they use guns in Harry Potter? I'm gonna be honest, most of their magic, Oompa Loompa seems pretty strong, but some of them are kind of slow. Like they do charge ups and stuff, AK-47 don't need no charge up. For all you fanfiction writers out there, huh? Harry Potter with an AK. Think
does
about
not, then I shall kill thy beloved
it.
Draco.
Don't think about it too hard though.
How did he know? I asked in a surprised way.
Oh, this is killing me.
Voldemort got a dude, you're so retarded look on his face. I hath telekinesis, he answered cruelly. And if you doth not kill Vampire, then thou know what will happen to Draco, he shouted. Then he flew away angrily on his broomstick.
I was so scared and mad I didn't know what to do. Suddenly, Draco came into the woods. Draco, I said.
Of course
Hi.
he would.
Hi, he said back, but his face was all sad. He was wearing white foundation and messy eyeliner, kind of like a pentagram. Get it? Between Joel Madden and Gerard Way.
Are you okay? I asked.
No, he answered.
I'm sorry I got all mad at you, but I thought you cheated on me. I expelled.
Hey,
That's okay.
that's the most realistic thing so far. A female acting like this.
He said all
Hey, let's be
depressed
fucking
as we went
honest,
back
okay?
into Hogwarts
Okay.
together making out.
That's
Chapter 10. Author's note. Stop it, you gay Fs. If you do not like my story, then f*** off. P.S. It turns out Bloody Mary isn't a muggle, a flirt owl, and she a vampire are evil, that's why they moved houses, okay?
Okay. I was really scared about Voldemort all day. I was even upset, went to rehearsals
Voldemort.
with my gothic metal band, Bloody Gothic Rose 666. Draco and Vampire were depressed, so they weren't coming, and we wrote songs instead. I knew Draco was probably slitting his wrists. He wouldn't die because he was a vampire too, and the only way you can kill a vampire is with a CROSS. There's no way I'm writing that. Or a stake. And Vampire was probably watching a depressing movie like The Corpse Bride. I put on a black leather shirt that showed off my boobs and tiny matching miniskirt that said Simple Plan on the butt. You might think I'm a slut, but I'm really not.
yes, you
We
are.
were singing a cover of Helena, and at the end of the song, I suddenly bust into tears. Ebony, are you okay? Bloody Mary asked in a concerted voice.
What the fuck do you think? I asked angrily. And then I said, well, Voldemort came and the f***ing bastard told me to f***ing kill Harry. But I don't want to kill him because he's really nice, even if he did go out with Draco. But if I don't kill Harry, then Voldemort will kill Draco. I burst into tears. Suddenly, Draco jumped out from behind a wall.
Why didn't you f***ing tell me? I shouted. How could you? You f***ing poser muggle bitch. C is...
They really like using this poser as an insult. What is a poser supposed to be?
out
I'm sorry, I'm not too into the, slit your wrist culture.
of character.
I don't understand it too well.
I started to cry and cry. Draco started
no.
to cry too, all sensitive. Then
Everyone's
he ran
crying.
on crying.
Is
We
Voldemort
practiced
crying
for
as well?
one more hour. Then suddenly Dumbledore walked in angrily. His eyes were all fiery, and I knew this time it wasn't because he had a headache.
What have you done? He started to cry wisely.
Oh, he
See,
started to
that's
cry as well.
basically not swearing, and this time he was really upset, and you will see why.
Ebony Draco has been found in his room. He committed suicide by slitting his wrist.
I thought he could not die because he was a vampire.
What?
Chapter 11. Author's note. I said stop flaming you preps. See if this chapter are stupid 11111. I delves with really serious issues. See for yourself if it's stupid BRW thanks to my friend Raven for helping me. No, I screamed. I was horrified. Bloody Mary tried to comfort me, but I told her to f*** off, and I ran to my room crying to myself. Dumbledore chased after me, shouting, but he had to stop when I went to my room, because he would look like a perv that way if he went in. Anyway, I started crying tears of blood, and then I slit both my wrists. They got all over my clothes, so I took them off and jumped into the bath angrily, while I went to put on Linkin Park.
Okay, bitch. Here we gotta put a fucking line. Do not disrespect Linkin Park like this, you stupid dumbass little hoe. Do not. Remove that shit immediately.
I grabbed a stake and almost stuck it into my heart.
Please.
Suicide. I was so fucking depressed. I got out of the bathtub and put on a black low-cut dress with lace all over it, sandly. What? I put on black high heels with pink metal stuff on the ends and 6 pairs of skull earrings. I couldn't believe this. Then I looked out the window
6 pairs of
and
earrings.
screamed.
How does that?
Snap was spying on me, and he was taking a videotape of me, and Lupin was masticating to it. They masticating is chewing, by the way.
Yep, yep.
And they were sitting on their broomsticks. Ooh, you f***ing pervs. Stop looking at me naked. Are you pedos or what? I screamed, putting a black towel on with a picture of Marilyn Manson on it. Suddenly, Vampire ran in.
Abracadabra! He yelled at Snape and Lupin, pointing his womb. I took my gun and shot Snape and Lupin a gazillion times, and they both started screaming, and the camera broke. Suddenly, Dumbledore ran in. Ebony, it has been revealed that someone has... No! He shouted, looking at Snape and Lupin, and then waved his wand. And suddenly...
Hagrid ran outside on his broom and said, "Everyone, we need to talk." What do you know, Hagrid?
Hagrid, this might not be the perfect moment for this. We have motherfuckers getting shot with a Tommy gun. We have a naked wristlet vampire. Harry Potter is an emo.
Just a little Hogwarts student.
I may be a Hogwarts student, Hagrid paused angrily, but I am also a Satanist.
This cannot be, Snap said in a crisp voice,
Isn't he
as
dead?
blood dripped from his hand where Dumbledore's wand had shot him.
What?
What? Dude, I'm beyond lost at this point. There must be other factors.
You don't have any, I yelled in madly.
What any?
Lupin held up the camera triumphantly.
The lens may be ruined, but the tape is still there.
I felt faint, more than I normally do, like how it feels when you do not drink enough blood.
Why are you doing this?
Lupin said angrily.
Because Hagrid said as he paused in the air dramatically, waving his wand in the air.
Then swooped he in, singing to the tune of a gothic version of a song by 50 Cent. Because you're gothic? Snap asked in a little afraid voice, 'cause he was afraid it meant he was connected with Satan.
Because I love her.
Chapter 12, Author's Note.
Okay. This is actually a very common problem with most fan fiction stories. They like if they put an OC, which is an original character in these stories, everything revolves around it, which is very annoying. As I said, I regret my times in the community.
Stop F-ing, okay? Hagrid is a pedo to a lot of people in American schools. Like that, I
Whoa,
wanted
stop. Hagrid is a puto.
to address the issue. How do you know Snap, Iant, Kristen plus Hagrid isn't really in love with Ebony? That was Cedric, okay? I was about to slit my wrists again. With a silver knife that Draco had given me in case anything happened to him. No! I thought it was Hagrid, but it was Vampire. He started to scream.
Oh my fucking god, no! My scar hurts!
And then his eyes rolled up. You could only see his red whites. I stopped. How did you know?
I saw it, and my scar turned back into a lightning bolt.
No! I ran up close.
I'm very
I
confused.
thought you didn't have a scar anymore, I shouted.
I do, but Diabolo changed it into a pentagram for me, and I always cover it up with foundation. I said back. Anyway, my scar hurt and it turned back into the lightning bolt. Save me!
Then I had a vision of what was happening to Draco. Voldemort has him bonded.
I was.
Anyway, I was in the school
But
nurse
you
box
was-
now recovering from my slit wrist. Snap and Lupin and Harry was there too. They were going to St. Mango's after they recovered, because there were pedophiles, and you can't have those pervs teaching in a school with lots of hot girls. Dumbledore had constipated the Sidio camera. They took off me naked. I put up my middle finger at them. Anyway, Hagrid came into the hospital bed holding a bouquet of pink roses.
Enobi, I need to tell you something, I said in a serious voice, giving her the roses.
Fuck off, I told him. You know I hate the f***ing color pink anyway. And I don't like f***ed up preps like you, I snapped. Hagrid had been mean to me before for being gothic.
No, Enobi. Hagrid says, those are not roses.
What, are they goths too, you poser prep? I asked because I was angry that he had bought me pink roses.
I saved your life, I yelled angrily.
No, you didn't, I replied. You saved me from getting a Paris Hilton pee video made from your shower scene and being viewed by Snape and Lupin, who masturbated. See, is that spelled wrong? Whatever, I yelled angrily. He pointed his wand at the pink roses.
These aren't roses. He suddenly looked at them with
Interesting
an
wand.
evil look in his eye and muttered, well, if
666.
you wanted honesty, that's all you had to say.
That's not a spell. That's a My Chemical Romance song, I corrected him wisely.
I know. I was just warming up my vocal cordes. Then he screamed, Petulus Marengo mi cremil gil romacio.
For all you cool gothic My Chemical Romance fans out there, that is a tribute. Especially for Raven. I love you, girl. In my opinion, natto okeo.
And then the roses turned into a huge black flame floating in the middle of the air. And it was black. And I knew he wasn't a prep. Okay, I believe you.
What is a
What's the
prep?
frustrating?
Hagrid rolled his eyes. I looked into the balls of flame, but I could see nothing.
You see, Enabi, Dumbledore said, watching the two of us watching the flame, to see what is into flames. Ha ha ha, you reviewers flames, get it? You must find yourself first, Kay. No, I have find
Okay,
myself.
I'm a pause it here just because okay. When in the story is this happening? Because like the dude with that's in the hospital because he got shot, the brown haired twat. That dude was a cool dude, but it turned out that dude had the Voldemort in him or some shit like that, right? And then he died, right? And that was like one of the first or second movie, I think. And that's when they were kids, like very small kids, like 13 kids, right? So, but but at the same time, Voldemort's resurrected, which happens after that. No, I. Why am I trying to put logic in this shit? I don't know.
Okay, you mean old man, Hagrid yelled.
You mean old man?
Dumbledore looked shocked. I guess he didn't have a headache, or else he would have said something back. Hagrid stormed off back into his bed.
Anyway, when I got better, I went upstairs and put on a black leather mini dress that was all ripped with lace on it. Then I put on some corset stuff on the front. Then I put on some black fishnets and black
Where is the lace on the?
high-heel boots with pictures of Billy Joe Armstrong on them. I put my hair all out around
My
me
head
so I
hurts.
looked like Samara from The Ring. If you don't know who she is, you are prep, so off. So I put on blood red lipstick, black eyeliner, and black lip gloss.
You look kawaii, girl.
But Ludi Mary said sadly.
Thanks. Get it? You do too, I said sadly. But I was still upset. I slit both my wrists, feeling totally depressed.
How many
and I
times?
sucked out all the blood. I cried again in my bathroom, and I put the shades on so Snap and Lupin couldn't spy on me this time. I went to some classes.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
Vampire was in the hair of magic creatures. He looked all depressed because Draco had disappeared, and he had used to be in love with Draco. He was sucking some blood from a Hufflepuff.
Hi, he said in a depressed way.
Hi back, I said in a wickedly sad way. We both looked at each other for some time. Harry had beautiful, red, gothic eyes, so much like Draco's. Then, we jumped on each other and started screwing each other.
In the.
Stop it now, you horny simpletons!
Shouted Professor McGoggle, who was watching us, and so was everyone else.
Vampire, you f***er, I started slapping him. Stop trying to screw me. You know I love Draco, I shouted, then I ran away angrily. Chapter 13. Vampire and I run up the stairs looking for Dumbledore. We were so scared.
Dumbledore!
Dumbledore! We both yelled. Dumbledore came there.
What is it that you want now, you despicable snobs? He asked angrily.
Voldemort
has
hesitated.
Draco!
We shouted at the same time.
Wow.
He laughed in an evil voice.
No,
No,
don't. We need to save Draco.
We begged.
No, said meanly. I don't give a darn what Voldemort does to Draco. Not after how much he misbehaved in school, especially with you, Ebony, he said while he frowned looking at me. Besides, I never liked him that much anyway. Then he walked away.
On a skateboard.
Vampire started crying. My Draco! He moaned.
Author's note. Don't you think gay guys are like so hot? It's okay. I tried to help him, but that didn't stop him. He started to cry tears of blood. And then he had a brainstorm.
I had an idea! He exclaimed.
What? I asked him.
You'll see, he said. He took out his wand and did a spell. Then, suddenly, we were in Voldemort's lair.
Looking
We
real
ran with our wands
Skyrim-ish.
out, just as we heard the croon voice say, Allah Kedavra. It was Voldemort.
Allah
Chapter
Kedavra?
14. Author's note. Off perhaps okay. Raven Fangs for helping again. I'm sorry I couldn't update, but I was depressed and had to go to the hospital because I slit my wrists. P.S. I'm not updating till I give you my 10 good reviews. Warning, some of this chapter is extremely scray. Viewer excretion advised. We ran into where Voldemort was. It turned out that Voldemort wasn't there. Instead, the fat guy who killed Cedric was. Draco was there crying tears of blood. Snaketail was torturing him.
People live their authentic lives.
Vampire and I ran in front of the Snaketail.
Rid my sight, you despicable preps, he shouted as we started shooting him with the gun. He looked at me, and he fell down with a lovey-dovey look in his eyes.
Doc, he said.
In dis, he is 16 years old, so he's not a pedophile, okay?
Huh? I asked.
Inobi, I love you. Will you have sex with me? Asked Snaketail.
I started laughing crudely. What the fuck? You torture my boyfriend and then you expect me to you? God, you are so fucked up, you fucking bastard, I said angrily. And then I stabbed him in the heart. Blood poured out like a fountain.
No! He screamed. He started screaming and running around. Then he fell down and died. I burst into tears sadly.
Snaketail, what art thou doing? Called Voldemort.
Then he started coming. We could hear his high heels clacking to us.
Oh,
So we got on our broomsticks and we flew to Hogwarts. We went to my
Wait,
room.
what about Draco?
Vampire went away. There I started crying.
What about
What's
Draco?
wrong, honey? Asked Draco, taking off his clothes so we could screw.
He had a sex pack. Get it? Because he's so sexy.
Ah.
And a really huge you-know-what and everything. It's so unfair, I yielded. Why can't I just be ugly or plain like all the other girls and preps here except for Baludi Mary? Because she's not ugly or anything.
Why would you want to be ugly? I don't like the preps anyway. They're such f***ing sluts, answered Draco.
Yeah, but everyone is in love with me. Like Snape and Lupin took a video of me naked. Hagrid says he's in love with me. Vampires like me, and now even Snaketail is in love with me. I just want to be with you, okay, Draco? Why couldn't Satan have made me less beautiful? I shouted angrily. Author's note. Don't worry, Inobi isn't a snob or anything, but a lot of people have told her she's pretty. I'm good at too many things. Why can't I just be normal? It's a f***ing curse. I shouted and then I ran away. Chapter 15. Author's note. Stop flaming, okay? By the way, you suck from no on every time someone flams me, I'm gonna slit my wrists. Thanks to Raven for helping.
Ebony!
Helping
Ebony!
a slit
shouted Draco sadly. No, please, come back!
But I was too mad. Whatever, now you can go and have sex with Vampire, I shouted. I stormed into my room and closed my black door with the blood-red key. Then I looked at my black Good Charlotte watch and noticed that it was time to go to biology. I put on a short, ripped black gothic dress that said anarchy on the front in blood-red letters, and it was all ripped and with a spiky belt. Under that, I put on ripped black fishnets and boots that said Joel all over them in blood-red letters. I put my ebony black hair out. Anyway, I went downstairs, feeling all sad and depressed as usual. I did some advanced biology work. I was turning a bloody pentagram into a black guitar. Suddenly, the guitar turned to Draco.
Inobi, I love you, I shouted sadly. I do not care what those fucker preps and posers think. You're the most beautiful girl in the world. Before I met you, I used to want to commit suicide all the time. Now I just want to f***ing be with you. I fucking love you.
Then he started to sing The Chronicles of Life and Death. We considered it our song now, because we fell in love when Joel was singing it. Oh my fucking God, I said after he was finished. Some fucking preps stared at us, but I just stuck my middle finger up at them. They were covered in black nail polish, and were intertwined with Draco's now. I love you, I said. And then we started to kiss. Then
Again.
we went away holding hands. Lupin shouted at us, but he stopped because everyone was clapping by how sexy we looked together. Then I saw a poster saying that MCR would have a concert in Hogsmeade right then. We looked at each other all shocked.
NCR
and then
from
we went
Fallout New
together.
Vegas?
To be continued. Question mark? Like bloody question mark. Next time on My Immortal.
Ebony and Draco go to the My Chemical Romance concert, but they're in for a big surprise.
Wow. Well. Only thing I can say about this, it makes me want to slit my wrist. I'll give it a slit wrist out of slit wrist rating, okay? Okay, let me know what y'all think, okay? I need to hear someone else's opinion on this. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time, everybody. Have a nice fucking day.